Welcome to the Process Show with Bigg Joe 17, and I have a lovely guest with me, Coach KB, as we all know her, or I know her. So today is a new show, man. Keep it locked on the Process with Bigg Joe.
We on? Alright. 1, 2, 3, go!
How are you?
Yeah.
I see.
Survived.
Finally. Good name. Like I've been hunting you down and I finally get to have this
I almost drove home. I'm like,
because you couldn't find the area.
no, couldn't find you.
GPS. That's why we have smartphones.
Mystery man. I was just literally here driving around. And story for another day.
Yeah. No, we just need to grab coffee for that.
Yeah.
But thank you for joining me today on the show. It's been a while since I've done this, and I'm glad I'm opening it with you, Coach KB.
Did you get rusty there?
Yeah, you know,
rusty?
hey man, it's been a while, but I'm working on that.
Yeah.
I'm working on that. So, because I know you, kindly tell our viewers who you are, where you're from, and what you do, pretty much.
From planet Mars. No, I'm joking. So, my name is Coach Makabelo Motaung. My parents' name is Makabelo Motaung. Yes.
Yeah.
But I've obviously been now associated with the name Coach KB.
Sure.
Yeah, I'm a social and dating coach.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. So I teach people. I always say I'm a personal dater, personal trainer for daters. You know.
Hey, we're suffering on those numbers, eh? Sure.
You've got personal trainers for losing weight and this,
Yeah.
and there's no place really where you go and find somebody to teach you how to date. And the reason why I got into it was, for me, I realized that I didn't actually realize, but so I was about to get married.
Yeah.
Yes.
This is interesting.
This is old.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I was about to get married, and we did a pre-counseling session. As
Sure.
you know,
Yeah.
they usually give you that. Like, do you know what marriage is about?
Sure.
Do you know this? But for me, I realized that it was too late. That was too late already to teach me about a person that I'm supposed to spend the rest of my life with, or if I don't even know if they're the right person for me. You know, and I think the idea.
This is before getting married.
This is before getting married.
The things that you should have known before.
Yes.
Even being proposed to.
But here's the catch.
Yeah.
So what I find is there's a place to go before you get married where they teach you about marriage, right?
Okay.
There's a place to go when your marriage is already in trouble,
Yeah,
which
yeah,
is
yeah.
marriage counseling.
Yeah, yeah.
Yes. But then no amount of counseling will ever fix you choosing the wrong partner. And I
Okay.
find that people don't know where to go. Like,
Sure.
where do I go? How do I know what to choose? Or how do I know how to get into a healthy relationship?
Sure.
You know,
Sure.
there's no places like that. And for me, I was in need of a place to say, look, did I date correctly? Did I pick the right relationship? Is it the right person in my content? Am I ready to get married?
Yeah, yeah.
Because usually by the time you go to pre-counseling, you've already said yes to somebody has already paid lobola, and you already have the ring. So by the way, 3 months before the wedding, I was like, no, this is not for me. But part of that was discovering that here I was stuck with this wrong person.
Sure.
I knew he was wrong, but he was doing the right things, meaning he got the ring, he got.
Yeah.
And we think this is the ideal end goal for everybody, like
Sure.
especially women, where you think the end goal is the ring. You get the ring, but you discover later that there's a life after it, and you don't know how to maintain it.
Sure.
You know.
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure. Okay, so what are the type of things that you help someone in terms of choosing a partner? Because I know for a fact that, I spent 15 years in business for one, have had close to 7 partners. And
Only 7. Come on, the numbers.
yeah, no,
Those numbers,
the fair ones. I'll just say the fair ones is 7, and it got to a point where I really fed up on choosing partners because they say all the right things, they pick all the right boxes, but then now when it comes to the working part, now we have clashes. How do you help someone?
So it's not so much about the partner. What I say is that's the catch. That's how people come to me. But what they actually find is that I actually teach you how to be you and how to be lovable and dateable and worthy.
Okay.
You know, because what I find is that a lot of issues that we have in relationships are issues that we can fix if we fix ourselves.
Sure.
You know, if you take if you take responsibility for your 7 relationships not working out, there's a part where you contributed. And where I come is to say, where have you gone wrong? But besides where have you gone wrong, what is it that's hindering you to even get to number 7? What is it that you're not getting right at that time? What is it that you are overlooking, or what is it that you are not looking at during your honeymoon phase? You know, the first 6 months of a relationship can be heaven on earth.
Sure.
You know, traffic is nothing. Listen, you can sit in traffic as long as you're in love.
Sure.
Music is good. Food tastes nice.
Everything is
life is perfect.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
until that time. And what we then think is that that's the relationship, that's the one during that period, and that's not true. But besides, if you don't fix issues about yourself that need to be fixed, you will always get it wrong in relationships.
Sure.
And people realize this too late when they're already married maybe for a year or 2, and then they realize, no, she's not the one.
Sure.
You go to marriage number 2, number 3. So the idea here is to get yourself to a point where, regardless of where you find yourself,
Sure.
whether single, married, or whatever,
Sure.
you are being a full human being who's healed, who's dealt with their issues, but also who knows how to live in a world with other people. You have to get to a point where you know how to literally be in a relationship with anybody and it works.
Sure.
It's not magic. It's not personality clashes. It's not whatever. It's just that people trigger things in you that make the relationship not to work. Maybe your last girlfriend, if I can ask you why didn't it work? What do you think?
Probably communication is one of those things, right?
You guys fail to communicate.
Yeah, you find that you're not able to articulate your way of thinking or your process or what interests you or the way you see things. Failure to communicate those type of things got into a way where I don't know, we always bumped heads. We found that there was never a level ground because of failure of communication. Yeah.
So we are there's about 8 type of daters that we are.
Sure.
But that all comes from our childhood.
Sure.
So you'd find that let's say I was raised in a family where they never gave me attention.
Sure.
You know, going into dating, I'll always date the ones that literally are always here.
Sure.
You know, that's the only way I know what love is.
Sure.
This is where, again, we are different as human beings, where we understand love differently.
Sure.
Somebody else understands love by you being here and constantly in their face, and then they think that's love. You know, so depending on where or how you grew up. Let's say I grew up in a family where I was neglected a lot,
Sure.
and you grew up in a family where you were given love, everything, but everything needed to be perfect.
Sure.
Or whatever, I don't know. But point is, for me to date a person that's the opposite of me.
Sure.
I want love, and I want you to constantly be here. Whereas
Sure.
when maybe you were raised on that and you want freedom.
Sure.
Can you see where the clashes are?
Yeah.
When you think freedom is love, I think being there is love, and
Sure.
then these two people date. Obviously, their history, yes.
Yeah.
But I'm saying history plays a lot as well into the type of people that we should be dating. So how we are doing it wrong is that we are probably dating the people that are not complementing, don't want to say childhood issues, but not complementing what we know as love.
Sure.
Because everybody knows love is something else.
Sure.
Somebody else, for them, is perfection. Love is getting the A's right. Love is getting this and this right.
Sure.
Love is giving you a roof over your head. It's ticking the things, materialistic things or whatever.
Sure.
That's love for somebody else.
Yeah.
For somebody else, love is you being here. For
Sure.
somebody else, love is you trusting me and giving me the freedom.
Okay.
For somebody else, love is you affirming, telling me. If you don't tell me, actions are nothing. I want words. If you don't
Sure.
tell me, then
Yeah.
you know. So we are human beings that are constantly missing each other in terms of
Sure.
where we are or what we want, or we think you know, when they ask you, like when I ask a lot of my clients, so what are you looking for in a partner? No, I'm looking for a guy who's tall, dark, by the way, tall, dark, handsome. Tall, dark, handsome,
First.
and who's got a job and a car.
Sure.
But it's got nothing to do with the relationship. It's got nothing to do with
Sure.
you have to survive with this person. You have to live with them. You have to grow
With them.
you have to add value into their lives, and you can't just say I want this and this what are you bringing?
Sure.
That's firstly going to balance this other person, but also when you say you want certain qualities in a partner, you are then not, I don't even know how to describe this.
Yeah.
You're not even talking about things that are essential for a relationship.
Sure.
You are talking about what you want. It's your attraction factor. Attraction goes away. I told you 6 months is the max.
Yeah, the happiness, the honeymoon, all the sweet stuff, right?
Yeah, so that's where I come in and relate to people, or not just relate, but teach them that this is what you should be looking at, and this is how you know it's the one for you. Not even the one for you. You know, sometimes you'll think you've got the relationship right and it doesn't work out. But point is, I teach people to survive it if it doesn't work out.
Sure.
But most importantly, to trust themselves to pick the right person.
Sure.
If they made a mistake and they didn't pick the right person, to trust themselves to walk away from it.
Sure.
You know.
Yeah, you know?
Yeah.
How would I connect the two?
Yeah. So I've always said that one of the things I teach people is how to flirt. Yay. Right? But in saying that, I've always said, you know, flirting goes across a romantic moment or whatever. It goes across that you can literally flirt with your boss, with your competitor, whatever. But point is, at any given point, you should know how to make anybody feel good around you.
Okay.
That applies for business as well.
Sure.
People will not trust you to make business with them if you do not know how to make them feel good around your business.
Sure.
You know, so you need to know how to build the relationships with everybody, literally your competitors or whatever. You know, and I find that for me, same methods again apply in relationships. I mean in business. When I say you need to know how to choose a partner, you need to know this is my business values. This is how I operate, and bringing somebody else or outsourcing another person to come. Let's say you're fixing cars.
Sure.
You fixing cars, but you need parts from somebody else, right?
True.
But you need somebody who's going to be reliable, not somebody who's going to give you fake parts. But in essence, you want somebody who has the same values as you.
Sure.
In business, whether it's in relationships or whatever, you want this person who has the same values, but who also complements and gets where you're going as well. You know.
What would you define as good values? Because you also mentioned now that there's people who look for tall, dark, and handsome people. Not that it's a bad thing, but those are not like long-lasting relationship.
They don't sustain. Yeah.
So how does one get to dig deep? Because you said that you help them know themselves better. But how does one get to dig deep into themselves to understand what their values are? Because I find that a lot of people don't even know what they value.
Yeah. So you're talking in terms of business now?
No, in general, because still, again, like,
okay, so my
an individual is in the business.
Yes, like I said, depending on how you grew up or your childhood, believe it or not, it affects everything. It affects how you do business. It affects how you choose a partner. It affects. So your insecurities as a child.
Sure.
Chances are will always be in your insecurities in business. You know those leaders that micromanage people.
Yeah.
It's because they don't trust anybody else to be there. Because maybe the dad was not there or whoever was not there. So it's always issues that are related. Everything else is connected. You know, like depending on the type of leader that you are, actually, I can tell you a lot. Like, okay, this is how you grew up. Like I said, if you give people freedom, you probably grew up in a home where they trusted you and they trusted you to sort yourself out.
Sure.
But if you grew up in an environment where you constantly needed to report, I'm eating 4 slices of bread, or you constantly needed to report where you are, where you're about.
Sure.
You will want that in a partner. You will expect that from a partner, but you also expect that from people who are under you.
Yeah.
You know, so again, like everything is connected the way I see it. You know.
So then, okay, now you mentioned the thing about micromanaging. How do you? So now that I know that I have this deficiencies, how is it a good thing to change, or do I use that as a strength of mine?
You can use it as an insight, a very useful insight.
Sure.
The way I see it, if I know, I'm particularly, like, I'm a control freak.
Sure.
You know, so the type of people I would pick to work with me are the type of people I know I can rely on. So I don't pick necessarily people who are skilled or whatever. That's got nothing to do with if I'm honestly, if I know I'm this type of a leader, I will choose. if I'm a control freak, I will choose people that I know I can rely on.
Sure.
So I won't choose necessarily people who are skilled, because then they'll be skilled and not reliable. So that for me will be very high on my list. Are you reliable? Are you honest? Can you deliver? So I don't know if I'm answering you, but point is, depending on the type of leader you are, you will know what people you want. Have you ever had an interview and you aced it, but they didn't call you for some reason?
Yeah, yeah.
They didn't call you.
Yeah.
But that's because the person who initially has, or who needs to make the choice, is probably not getting what they want from you. It's got nothing to do with you in your qualifications or whatever, but they just need to know they can work with you.
Sure.
And it comes down to that you can ace an interview, you can be good on qualifications and whatever, tick the boxes. But if I, as a manager, or the person that you're going to be reporting to, I don't gel with you, they call it environment, culture. You don't fit into the culture. Yes. So it's that as well in relationships. You don't fit into the culture. You don't fit into
my ways.
Yes, my values.
Sure.
Do you understand?
Okay. So, okay, now, because now that you say that, I've also realized that culture plays a very important role in a business being different from other companies. I know for a fact that Google is a company where people are so relaxed, they have fun, and that they believe that builds creativity, you work from that. But you find other companies where it's cubicles, everybody's like locked in, and there's no sense of
interaction,
collaboration, stuff like that. Now, what do I do then if I don't fit into that culture? And I need business from them. So I need business from these people, but I don't fit into their culture. As a social tip, how do I socialize or interact with those people?
You know, for me, I always say you are capable of socializing with everybody, but you just need to know what's important to the next person. Like I said, the point is to make the other person feel good, but you just need to know what makes them feel good.
Okay.
And by that I mean I could be in a room with 4 people. This one, for them, what's important for them is their family. They're always talking about family, this, their passion is that. So find what people are passionate about, and then it's easier to form relationships on that. But also, when you find what people are passionate about, it's very important for you to go back and know how to interact on the passion. That's how you get people on your side. So candidate number 1 is very family orientated. They are into they love their family. Candidate number 2 is into sport. They are a sport fanatic. You know. And something else could be important to them. Maybe it's their dog or their business or their body, their health or whatever. My point is, when I interact with all of them, I cannot interact with all of them the same way. I need to know how to touch on what's important to people. Right? The same way as well that with this one, I can't just come and talk about sport when he's not into sport, he's into family. So know what to talk to people about, know what appeals to people, but also know how to tap into people's passion. I always say that for me, there are 3 important aspects that I always tap into when I speak to anybody. It could be about location, maybe. Location, like, what do you think of this place? Like, how does it make you feel? Point is, I'm putting you into the current space. I'm making you be in the present moment. But also, I want to know what's important to you at that point. So when I say to you, what do you love about this place? Like, what do you love? This is an exercise, by the way.
I like the walls. Like, this is, like, I'm very into rustic feels. So I like even though it's wallpaper, but it looks kind of nice, like, kind of relaxed rustic.
So I've already established the kind of person that you are, but just talking about the surroundings. This is an easy conversation starter, whether you are networking at business or whether you're going on a date or whatever. It's a conversation starter. Secondly, I'd want to know, what are you passionate about? Like, so what do you do most of the time? So here's another thing. I don't say what do you do for work, because this is where people get it wrong. We quickly rush into, so what do you do? You'll never find my passion if you ask me what I do, because I could be an administrator, but my passion is singing or whatever. So when I say to you, what do you do most of the time? Or like, what do you do on your spare time? Like,
Sure.
what do you do a lot?
Yeah. Is another exercise for me? Movies. Right? I'm into stories. I enjoy stories.
Yeah. What do you enjoy about stories? Telling them, writing them, or how they're written, or
how they're written and how they're articulated.
Yeah.
So like, I enjoy a story that grabs me and gets me to think about it in the way they see it.
Yeah.
Like getting into that feeling like I'm there.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I enjoy the most.
Yeah. So next time I see you, guess what? We're gonna talk about your passion. So I'll tell you, have you seen this in this movie? That's how you network. That's how people think you're bringing something special into their business.
Sure.
Because you remember details about people, and we love people who remember details about us.
Sure.
So
Very
this
true.
is a good networking tip if you're